Hello. I apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. Die quietly. I'm a difficult traveler. Not because I underestimate the time or expense. Enough tools exist. Expedia, Kayak, Google Maps to predict it down to the second and cent. What I underestimate is the physical, emotional, and psychological toll it takes on myself and my travel companions. Take my last trip to Las Posas, a surrealist garden created by the artist and poet Edward James in San Luis Potosi, Mexico, with my travel companion Hillary, an artist and adventurer. The trip began auspiciously enough. Having just left a hot, humid Houston, we stepped into the crisp, 70-degree air of Mexico City at 9 a.m. on a Sunday. The airport was calm and mostly empty. The car rental process was quick and efficient. We christened our subcompact stick shift Chevy Volt Xochitl and headed east. I drove. Hillary navigated. We took the toll roads, which were fast and cheap. They were filled with a light parade of motorbikes, passengers, cars, and light work trucks. The roads skirted the edges of the neighborhoods with pink, turquoise, blue, green, and yellow homes with clotheslines and large sections of farmland. When we reached the city of Querétaro, our route switched to state highways. The small roads served as main street throughout the pueblas along the way. In the town, speed bumps lined the roads. Slowing down, we smelled the barbacoa and roast chicken from roadside food, stalls selling tacos, and saw the carts of chicharrones and cut fruit. The ploy worked. We stopped to sample their wares and lost time, but it made the trip infinitely more pleasurable. At the base of the Sierra Gorda mountain, the road narrowed to 2 lanes. Motorcycle tour groups, ranch pickups, family sedans, and huge modern tour buses sped down the mountain, passing with a foot. The road shifted from a step incline to switchbacks. The turns were tight, the little engine strained. We lost all signal. Without Google Maps or Canciones de la Radio to fill the void. I could hear Hillary's tension as each vehicle zoomed by. From my point of view, we never came within 6 inches. From hers, it seemed like we're going to clip the side mirror every time. The broken guardrails served as a warning that this drive could be fatal. Nearing the summit, we entered the clouds. The air cooled. Ouch, Hillary said as her ears popped. Then mine did too. We crested the mountain and started our descent, plunging towards Silitas. I alternated between braking hard and downshifting aggressively. For the next hour, the momentum of the hairpin turns tossed Hillary's hair about. She whispered, "Fuck, only on the worst ones." Then it started to rain. Hard. To reach our accommodations, the Rabbit House, a single-room house up the mountains, we had to drive through Silitas. Even though it was only 6 p.m., the cloud cover and the lack of streetlights made it pitch black. Then the road started to flood. From runoff down the mountain, Hillary called our host, Natasha, who turned out to be a writer and an artist with a very heavy Russian accent. She advised us to get a hotel in town. It was sound advice from a local. I ignored it. Hillary entered the address in her Apple Maps and then faithfully navigated us to a dead end. We have the phone argument, in which we treat our phone choices as an existential decision. It's where the phone leads. Apple is a cult. Android phones are only good for the phone calls. Why don't you FaceTime someone who can get the fuck out of here? Or do you have to upgrade to an iPhone 37 to get an accurate map? I quit. We're both exhausted. If not for the downpour, Hillary would have gotten out of the car, taken a taxi back to Mexico City Airport. Instead, we sulked silently for a minute and fogged up the windows. I apologized and handed her my phone. She entered the same address in Google Maps. It sent us in the opposite direction. I steered Xochitl into what appeared to be a driveway. With the rain and the fogged windows, I misjudged how steep the driveway is or whether it was even a driveway. The bumper ground into the concrete, scraping sound set my teeth on edge. Fuck, that's gonna cost, I thought as I put the car in reverse and headed to the recalculated destination. The streets were small mountain streams. We forward on. We dodged and weaved around trash cans, patio furniture, and kids' toys carried by the rain. Hillary tried her best to stifle, but couldn't. With each swerve, her pitch rises. Damn. Shit. What the hell? Fuck. My impulse was simultaneously to soothe her and shut her up. While not crashing into any flotsam cascading down the mountain. Knowing that I can't multitask, I reasoned that I could only repair her psyche damaged if we survived. I ignored her and her screams and concentrated on the car. At a mural that Natasha mentioned, I turned onto a one-lane gravel path and realized that after 8 hours of traveling on Mexican toll roads, highways, and unpaved mountain village streets, the real drive was about to begin. Sometimes the road was paved, sometimes it was not. Sometimes the only tire tracks had a 10-inch concrete path for each set of tires with a ravine between them, hollowed out by erosion or farm animals. The path switched back up the mountainside. Each turn was a blind 180 degrees. I frantically shifted from first to second, and then from second to first. The car crept up the mountain. The higher we went, the more the engine revved. The rain pelted the roof. By now, Hillary was hyperventilating. The headlights dimmed cluelessly. I steered into the next turn and accelerated. The engine groaned. The car tires slipped. Hillary screeched. Suddenly, the car got traction, and we made it to the next section. Hillary was whimpering. I probably was too. Keeping my eyes locked on the road, I uttered ever so firmly but politely to myself as much as to her, "Would you please die quietly?" The air in the car froze. The path smoothed out ever so slightly. We drove another quarter of a mile to where Google Maps led us. In the midst of the downpour, two women were having a discussion at the entrance of a building that is clearly a school and not the rabbit house. I got out. The overheated engine steamed angrily. I simply said, "Rabbit house?" They both pointed further up the mountain, then continued their conversation. I climbed back into the driver's seat. Hillary doesn't say a word. We head further up the mountain. The rain continues. The defroster has quit working. To add to the visibility challenge, steam rises from the hood of the car and the headlights have died. The tires keep losing traction. Then out of nowhere, a very blonde, very Russian-looking woman carrying an umbrella appears standing next to what is obviously a parking space. Natasha seems surprised to see us. We exit the car dressed for Mexico City. Natasha looks at us. "You're almost there. Do you have flashlight or hiking boots?" I brought running shoes. Hillary offers. "Put them on," Natasha commands. Hillary removes her elegant sandals and puts on her hokas. I get our bags. We turn on our phone flashlights. Natasha begins marching up the slippery rock path. Immediately, it's clear that this is more than following a bellhop to our room. This is an actual mountain hike in the rain, which has slacked off to a consistent drizzle. To steady ourselves, we use the boulders, the trees, bushes, or anything else that lies in the path. Several times, Natasha stops to get her bearings in the moonless night, and the absurd thought that we could get lost going from parking lot to our room crosses my mind. At some point, a dog and a couple of chickens join our entourage. After 5 minutes, we descend into a small valley and see a lone light bulb, which illuminates the rabbit house. Natasha opens the door to our room, and the animal entourage lead the way. The room is sparse and circular with concrete walls painted yellow, a terracotta floor, and blue sky ceilings with a large ceiling fan. 2 access doors with a rainbow trim line the opposite sides of the door. One leads to the compound and the other to a detached bathroom and shower. The bedroom is simply furnished with a platform bed, a chair, a side table, a reading lamp. Natasha explains the logistics of the room and begins to give us its history. I cut her off. We're exhausted, so we need a shower and sleep. Can you just tell us tomorrow? Yes, she says curtly, and then lets out the animals and herself. Exchanging relieved and exhausted glances, we head for the shower. It's concrete and colorful and capacious. Initially, frigid water flows from both the spouts, but it heats up quickly. The hot water washes away some of our tension as we take turns sponging each other's entire bodies. Under the watchful eye of some very large crickets, which we only notice after we step out of the shower. Back in the rabbit house, we hang our towels on the chair and crawl into bed. I can feel the soreness settling into my back as I reach to switch off the lamp. The room plunges into darkness, and I groan and I roll over to my side with my back to Hillary. She takes a deep breath, slides up beside me, kisses the back of my neck, and whispers, "Die quietly."